today is the key day that Gotabaya was to resign, and he has now fled the country ahead of that resignation. Even the Prime Minister, Ranil Wickremesinghe, is to resign today, and then the Parliament will be convened on the 15th of July, and a new president is to be selected by the 20th.
Right, Gargi protesters taking over the Lanka Prime Minister's palatial residence and cooking at the Prime Minister's backyard. Those are visuals of them queuing up right outside. So, Gargi, well, this is while Rajapaksa has left and flown off to Maldives, but that resignation that we're expecting now from the Prime Minister.
Right, the Prime Minister and President, perhaps from the Maldives, he will send in that resignation, or maybe it will be announced, maybe it will be a video message. We don't know right now, but what has happened is that Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, whose whereabouts were unknown for the last couple of days since he had fled from his official palace, official residence, a day ahead of the massive protest that broke out in Colombo, where protesters then overran the official residence and are now parked there. Since then, his whereabouts were unknown, but last night around midnight or early this morning, he fled to the Maldives. Remember, there were rumors that maybe one of the Rajapaksas are trying to come to India as well, but that was denied by Indian sources in the foreign ministry. So now the Sri Lankan president has arrived in the Maldives. Those are the reports. In fact, there are some unverified videos also of a convoy of vehicles in the Maldives. So yes, he's arrived in the Maldives. He flew in a military aircraft along with his wife and a bodyguard. They were among the 4 passengers who flew out from Colombo International Airport for the Maldives last night, and now they've been taken to an undisclosed location.
Right. Under police protection, they were in fact moved from the Maldives airport and taken to an undisclosed location.
Let's go across to Shrija now, who joins us from Colombo. So Shrija, what happens now? Today was the day that the President and Prime Minister were to resign. The President has now fled the country and he's now in the Maldives. So what are you hearing? What's expected today?
Well, for the last 3 to 4 days, this is ever since July 9th onward, we saw the Sri Lankan uprising. Now, that was really the biggest that we had witnessed since the time that the protests had started, the anti-government protests had started. And today we hear, today being the 13th of July, it's a big day clearly for all the Sri Lankans, just waiting to see that Gotabaya Rajapaksa resigning from his position. But clearly, the official confirmation on that has not come yet. But what we do know at the moment, where the Air Force is also confirming, saying that he had requested for a plane and that the Air Force was obligated to give him one, along with his wife and 2 other security forces. They have already landed in Maldives. So clearly, the President of the country, President of Sri Lanka, has fled the country at the moment. So we're reporting outside the old Parliament. This is also one of the iconic places, especially that's been conquered by the Sri Lankans at the moment. It's been converted right now into a public library. But before that, if I could go across to a few Sri Lankans who are joining us live to get reactions, because for a very long time, we've been seeing how several of the Sri Lankans have been demanding that he resigns, right, and he goes home. But eventually, he has fled the country.
Pardon?
He has fled the country.
Yeah. So actually, we don't like this situation. Actually, before we think in Sri Lanka, we know we are also lovers for my country. But this is our all parliament and this is very old building. But we don't like to do like these things because of that bad situation. The people, they don't like to the old president. That's why the people are doing like that. So we think that after again we can build that like that everything, like not only for the buildings and our culture and our everything. That's why we came, all our children, all our person, they came here like that. They need to the new country, the new generation. That's why. Thank you very much.
What do you think of in terms of the president, even before the official confirmation coming that he has stepped down as the president? He's already fled Sri Lanka.
Sorry?
He's already left Sri Lanka.
Yeah, in the morning we heard that. We don't know it's true or false.
What have you all been demanding?
We reject him. We voted, before we voted him, but now that we cannot accept that.
You cannot accept him at the moment. Have you all voted him before? Have you all voted in?
Yeah.
You voted in for a government, a good government?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you voted in?
Yes.
Okay, so now what is your reaction to where your president has escaped from your country?
So, this my country's new president, very kind and good president.
Okay.
I hope it's good president, new generation.
Okay, so the reactions have been similar here. In fact, who says, they want, of course, a new regime, but they do not accept the fact or the way how President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has fled the country. But there are several sources within the defense and the Air Force confirming to us that this was really expected to happen. And also they go on to say, since he is the president, he has the right to ask or request for a plane, and so they are obligated to provide him with the plane to do so. Just about a day or so, there were several reports surfacing, in fact, how he was at the immigration, but again, just like his brother Basil Rajapaksa was turned away, and that was an embarrassment to him. He had also taken shelter at the army headquarters along with his wife, and now eventually we hear he's already left the country at a time when the entire country is plunging in economic and political crisis. Of course, there's a huge political crisis right now. What we do know is that, though he has informed officially to Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, the Prime Minister of the country, that he will be resigning, there's no official word in terms of he has stepped down. And to show you and give you a view right here, the protests are still continuing. It's still, very active at the moment. Now, though the crowd is not something that we're witnessing here, just like what we had seen on the July 19th, the crowd is swelling now. It's starting to swell. July 13th is today, and today being the big day, there were two things that were being planned. Either it's going to be a celebration of sorts, or it's going to be in terms of yet another uprising, just like what we witnessed on July 19th. So this is the epicenter of protest that we are reporting.
Right.
After the presidential palace that was in fact taken over by the people. This is the old parliament that we are standing and reporting from. That's been conquered. Now they say until Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa officially resigns, they will not leave these political structures.